Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Several weeks ago, the Delaware State Police were tasked with investigating 2 sexual assault cases in the Stanton area. Early this morning, detectives arrested 40-year-old Alfred Hubbard of Bear, Delaware. Mr. Hubbard was taken into custody by a surveillance team as he exited his home. For those of you who covered this case, you would remember that the first incident occurred on June 2nd, when a female was sitting in her vehicle in a parking lot along the 1000 block Twin C Lane in Newark. The suspect approached the victim and brandished a handgun. A carjacking ensued, and the victim was forced to drive to various locations where subsequent sexual assaults occurred. The victim was later advised to return to the area of the initial abduction, where the suspect got out of the car and fled the scene. On June 5th, a second attack occurred, where it appeared that the same suspect from the June 2nd incident abducted a female in the parking lot of 300 Continental Drive. A carjacking and sexual assault followed, and the victim was eventually returned to the very spot where she was abducted. Detectives diligently conducted their investigation in the days and weeks that followed. Composite sketches were distributed, and hundreds of tips were forwarded to investigators through Crime Stoppers. A break in this case came yesterday when DNA evidence collected during the investigation was processed using the CODIS system. For those of you who are not familiar, CODIS is an acronym for Combined DNA Indexing System. Detectives learned that the DNA evidence collected during this investigation proved to be a match to DNA previously indexed in Maryland and Virginia. From this, the suspect was identified as Alfred Hubbard. Detectives worked hard to locate Hubbard, who previously lived in Dover, Smyrna, and Clayton, Delaware. An arrest warrant was subsequently obtained last night, and detectives set up surveillance at Hubbard's house. After the apprehension this morning, Alfred Hubbard was transported back to Troop 2, where he will be processed on the following charges: 5 counts of rape, 7 counts of possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, 2 counts of kidnapping, attempted robbery, unlawful sexual contact, and terroristic threatening. The success in this investigation is shared amongst agencies both public and private, detectives, patrol officers, and citizens alike. I want to make a special note of thanks to several people, including the Christiana Care Health System SANE nurses, DNA technicians from the State of Delaware Office of the Chief Medical Examiner, the CODIS administrator from Virginia, as well as the multiple troopers who investigated and worked on this case.